This is the story of a new navy of young Papuans and New Guineans who are being taught naval skills by members of the Royal Australian Navy. Their base is HMAS Tarangau, the Australian naval establishment on Manus Island, to the north of the territory. The young sailors are being trained to man patrol boats of the RAN's Papua New Guinea Division. 5 vessels, each 100 feet long and Australian designed, and built for the island waters. The patrol boats are manned by both experienced Australian sailors and young men for whom Navy life is the newest challenge in their country's development. RAN and Papuan and New Guinea sailors will work together as equal members of their ship's companies. Gradually, the numbers of local sailors will increase until the boats are manned and commanded entirely by Papuans and New Guineans. New recruits at Manus Island learn the elementary naval skills on which their later training will be based. Selected recruits may be given trade training or may be chosen to become officers. A sailor is a sailor. Whether he serves in an aircraft carrier, a guided missile destroyer, a survey ship or patrol boat, he has to know the sea. Whether he will train to be a radio operator, a gunner, cook, sick berth attendant, a mechanic, or any of the specialists needed to man a patrol boat, he must first of all learn the basic principles of his trade. To tie a knot, to fight fire, to survive at sea. The young recruits are all high school boys. Some have studied for 3rd or 4th year examinations. At Manus, they learn to apply their academic knowledge to their naval training. By furthering their schooling, they also increase their chances of promotion. Then there is sport. There are few games which are not played on a naval base 150 miles from the equator on an island where it is always summer. The young men get fit and also develop the team spirit necessary on a fighting ship. And after work and play,
Well, Jenny, 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 won't you come along with me? Yeah! Jenny, 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 won't you come along with me? You know I love you,
The RAN's Deputy Naval Officer in charge of the New Guinea area is responsible for recruiting members of the Papua New Guinea Division. He has his office in Port Moresby, but throughout the year he travels through the 184,000 square miles of the territory, talking in schools and to local authorities. As the end of the school year draws closer, the recruiting officer has his busiest time. Boys who have told their teachers they would like to join the Navy have to be interviewed. They want to know how they would fit into the Navy's way of life. They want to know about the patrol boats, how fast they go, what guns do they have, do they have radar, how many men do they carry, do sailors sleep in beds, bunks, or hammocks? From the western highlands of Goroka to the port of Rabaul, the questions are the same. From one end of New Guinea to the other. Wewak. Madang. Questions and answers. Young men aged 15 to 26 who have to decide what they will do in their adult lives. The territory of Papua and New Guinea is developing, and a modern navy is a sign of its growth. Rabaul, New Britain, one of the major educational centers of the territory. In a land where civilization is new, where job opportunities are so many and varied for a young man with high school education, school teachers place high value on career guidance. The recruiting officer's message is simple. There are new patrol boats which need trained men to man them. The Navy offers trade training, the discipline of a life at sea, the Navy way of life. The Navy gives men uniforms, security, and 3 good meals a day. The Navy offers promotion and rewards for those who serve it well. The questions and the answers. Yes, you could become an officer if you joined as a recruit. Yes, the Navy will send you home on leave. Yes, you will go to sea early in your training. Yes, the patrol boats have Bofors guns. The patrol boats have radar. The patrol boats are air-conditioned. Patrol boat sailors must be versatile. They must have some of the skills of the infantry soldier. In a patrol boat crew of 16 men will be specialists of many categories. Away from port, they will be responsible alone for their own parts of ship. They will have to carry out their own maintenance and running repairs. There are also jobs ashore, helping to keep the boats at sea and maintaining installations on land. Men must also be kept fit at sea. The Navy hospital at Manus Island not only serves the Navy, more than 3,000 local Manus residents can get surgical and other specialized treatment obtainable nowhere else on the island. There are other jobs ashore, in a self-contained naval establishment which is larger than many towns in the territory. The patrol boat sailors serve both at sea and ashore, carrying out the essential tasks which keep Manus Island Australia's northernmost naval base. The recruiting continues. The search to find young men who will be able to learn the varied skills required of a modern sailor. The Navy trains its own tradesmen, giving them both a general trade training and specialist skills. For these sailors, after Manus, comes Sydney. HMAS Nirimba is the RAN's apprentice training establishment close to Sydney. Once an Air Force station, Nirimba produces the artificers and mechanicians who maintain the Navy's fleet and aircraft. It has become one of the RAN's most important shore establishments. The recruits who are selected for officer training go further south to HMAS Cerberus at Western Port, 45 miles from Melbourne. Whether they enter as officers or are selected after their initial recruit training, the Papuans and New Guineans will take the same courses as Australian officers. Before they return to Manus, they will serve with young Australian officers in ships of the Australian fleet.
Gun. General salute. Present. Ha!
This is how the Papuan New Guinea Division of the Royal Australian Navy is growing into a naval force. From a nucleus of trained men, the division will develop as the young recruits gain new skills and experience. They will take an ever-increasing part in safeguarding the security of their own coastline. A new navy is taking shape.